All right, Dr. Zainab Shinkafi-Bagudu, who is the President-elect Union for International Cancer Control, joins us in the studio. Glad to have you join us, Dr. Zainab
Thank you.
Shinkafi.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It would be an honor to say congratulations both for you and for, is it Nigeria or the first African to be elected in this for over 90 years.
Yes.
That's quite interesting.
Thank you.
I guess it was your activities that, got this.
We thank God. It's a team effort.
Team effort. All right.
Yes.
How regular should young ladies engage in screening?
When you say young, under the age of 25,
okay.
So we advise that they should have a monthly self-breast examination. So young girls, after their periods, they just use their fingers and examine themselves in front of a mirror. If you don't have a mirror, you can do it yourself. You're looking out for any unusual lumpiness that is different from the one you normally have. And if anything is found, then seek help. Above the age of, in Africa, we tend to say 40, 45 because our life expectancy is lower and cancer tends to occur at an earlier stage. So from the ages of 40, 45, women are advised to have what is known as a mammogram. A mammogram is an X-ray of the breast that can pick up any sign, any cancer lumps before the fingers can feel it. And because cancer occurs more commonly in women, breast cancer obviously, in women and above the ages of 40, that is the age that you use the mammogram. An ultrasound can also be used for those with dense breasts and is often combined with the mammogram.
Mammogram 40 upwards, but for regular screening, 20-something you said, right?
Every girl, once she hits puberty, should be aware of how her breasts are growing and how they look, so that if there's anything abnormal, she knows. We also advise men to do it because 1% of breast cancer occurs in men, and we're seeing more and more cases, so we're promoting the examination in men as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I should ask, what even causes it?
Well, cancer is an abnormality of the normal process. When the normal process is triggered and, it's sort of disrupted by factors like environmental, toxins, vaccines, viruses can lead to that. So also lifestyle, smoking, alcohol, eating the wrong type of food, lack of exercise, these are all environmental factors that lead to cancer. So breast cancer in particular, like I said, is often found in women, and there can be a genetic aspect to it.
Oh, really? It can be inherited, that's what you're saying?
Yes. If a first
does it have anything to do with sucking of the breast by kids? None.
Oh, actually, that's a good question, though I don't think you meant it as a question. The more a woman is exposed to estrogen, the more protection she has. So women who have breastfed have less chance of having breast cancer.
That's important for some people who don't like breastfeeding.
Yes, breastfeeding offers very high protection against breast cancer. So we advise you breastfeed for at least 2 years.
Yeah. Now, when we're talking about the screening, there's the issue of screening cost for those who can't afford it. I mean, how are they going to handle it? What should you say to them? Because you can't neglect that factor. It may be preventing people from wanting to go for these screening exercises.
Well, now there are many primary healthcare centers. The first step of screening, I said, is the self-breast examination. Okay. The second stage is when you go to a clinic, a clinical breast examination. And some countries like Egypt are actually using it as a very high level of prevention now. So you go into a primary healthcare center and any healthcare professional, community health extension worker, nurse, doctor, can examine a woman to see, because that person is better trained than the woman herself. But the screening you're talking about in terms of ultrasound, mammograms, you're absolutely correct, it's not cheap, but we do have a lot of civil society organizations that are doing their best in that regard. The general hospitals and tertiary hospitals offer it as well. But really, if you're talking about a mammogram, out of pocket in a private center would be about 50,000 naira. And that is beyond the reach of, it can, if we start advocating for it all the time, then it can be difficult for the ordinary Nigerian who is on a, salary of 120 to afford.
Now, let me ask you these two questions because of time. You recently had an awareness campaign to promote early diagnosis and the question of prevention. Can you prevent cancer? That's one. And then the question of the cost, producing the drugs locally vis-a-vis importation. Is your organization doing anything about it? Because, the talk is that because most of the drugs are imported, the cost skyrockets. Of course, the exchange rate and all that. So,
yes.
What attempts is the country or your organization making to probably produce the drugs here, stop less of the importation, and then, of course, the question I raised about, can cancer be prevented?
Yes, cancer can be prevented. That's the low-hanging fruit, by awareness, by knowing what to look out for, all cancers. And so we need to talk more to our people, to our community gatekeepers, to the religious leaders, not even the doctors, the people that we interact with that have a circle of influence in our lives in the ordinary Nigerian. So these people I've mentioned are very critical. And there are many programs that bring them together so that we can educate them. We can prevent cancer. There are cancers like cervical cancer, cancer of the liver, that there are vaccines available to treat. The second question is a bit trickier. What we do at Medicaid Cancer Foundation is that to answer that particular question, is that we advocate at a very high level. Like you mentioned in the beginning, I was elected as the UICC president, and that gives me a platform to speak to my government, to other governments, to high-income individuals, to organizations and development partners about the issues that we have here. I also serve as a senior advisor to the coordinating minister of health. So that is a way in which we can examine the partnerships. Local production of chemotherapeutic agents is not happening yet, but in the near future, with the presidential initiatives that we have ongoing and the strides, we've seen a lot of progress. There's been 3 new cancer centers that have been opened, but in terms of local production, it's a big no. In fact, we regressed a little bit because some of the pharmaceutical companies that we had exited, but now we're seeing the economy being revived, and I've already had some feeling that we'll be seeing some of them coming back.
We hope so. All right, before I let you go, the question of 50% discount for PWDs, I was wondering why that's not extended to others, why just PWDs alone? And then I think one of the doctors talked about community approach. What would that mean?
Well, persons living with disabilities is really, they have a special plight. We know that. They don't get access to most of the things that you and I can. We can hear this, we're talking, but if they're not able to lip read or have the special apps, they will not understand what we're saying. So access programs for screening, for treating, not just cancer, but many health issues, many educational issues, is difficult for them. Yep. And we interacted with the Abuja Association for the Deaf, and we realized this. They actually wanted us to do much more than that and give it free. But I thought, let's start and let's see how it works. It's not a huge organization. There are about 700, they said. So hopefully we'll be able to go through them through the year and, the burden. But I thought it would be inclusive and make them feel respected more, and also serve as a signal for other organizations, for governments, and most importantly, for the National Health Insurance Scheme to create special support schemes that will look at this special group of people.
Fantastic. We didn't have enough time to talk about the community approach, but we'll just leave it there. Dr. Zainab Shinkafi-Bagudu, the President-elect, Union for International Cancer Control. Thank you for being in the studio to talk about the question of breast cancer.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.